We've been talking about it for 2 weeks. Time to stop messing around. Let's get into it. The DJI Mavic Air review. What's up, everybody? I'm the Everyday Dad. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. The DJI Mavic Air is the newest high-tech camera drone from drone superpower DJI. The Mavic line in general is DJI's portable, foldable line of high-quality camera drones capable of recording 4K footage. And while this is called the Mavic Air, this is really the successor to the DJI Spark, one of the best drones released in 2017. It is not the successor to the DJI Mavic Pro, and if you want to see a video comparing those two, check out my video here, ding, where I talk about the differences between those two. Now, if you see my videos over the last 2 weeks, they really delve deeply into what the Mavic Air can do. What we're going to talk about today are the 3 major upgrades that the DJI Mavic Air has over the DJI Spark. There are definitely more upgrades over the DJI Spark than these 3, but these 3 are the mind-blowingly good upgrades that just blow the Spark out of the water. Number 1, the camera. The DJI Spark was only able to film in 1080p 30 frames per second, and I loved that drone, but that was a super limiting constraint no matter what else the drone had going for it. The Mavic Air, on the other hand, can film up to 4K 30 frames per second, 2.7K at 60 frames per second, my favorite, and 1080p at an insane 120 frames per second, my other favorite. Also, the DJI Spark recorded its footage in a much lower bitrate, which just made the footage not look as good. The Mavic Air records its 4K 30 frames per second in 100 megabits per second, and the higher number basically means a faster write speed, which means they can fit more information onto each file. Number 2, the gimbal. The DJI Spark is still one of the smallest drones ever made with a mechanical gimbal, and when that came out, it blew all the competition out of the water. However, it only stabilizes 2 axes, and when you're using it, you can definitely see some wobble in the footage, and that occurs pretty often. The Mavic Air, on the other hand, has a 3-axis gimbal that I am straight up in love with. It's super durable, gets great stabilization, and ensures all of your photos and videos are super stable. I cannot overstress how impressive this is. Having a 3-axis gimbal that is this rugged is crazy. I still cannot believe they were able to do this. And the third, and certainly not least of the major upgrades, are the sensors. In a first for portable drones, the Mavic Air has sensors on the front, bottom, but it also has obstacle avoidance sensors on the back. This may not seem like too big of a deal, as you might assume you'll mostly be flying forward anyways, but if you like using quick shots or you like doing active tracking in front of you, these sensors make themselves useful really darn quick. I already made a whole video about the obstacle avoidance, so I won't go into depth with it right now, but I do want to mention that these sensors allow for the Mavic Air to move out of the way of obstacles in both manual flying and active track modes. It is insane that this drone has this many sensors. Sensors on the back. The only other drones that have sensors on the back are the Phantom 4 Pro and Advanced line of cameras. It's crazy that they got that into such a small drone. Now let's do a quick recap of some of the other important minor spec differences that we talked about earlier. Battery life. The Mavic Air has a stated 21-minute battery life. In reality, it's more like 17, 18 minutes. The controller has a built-in OTG cable, and it has removable thumbsticks, which, meh. It does have 2 new quick shots, the Asteroid and the Boomerang. And if you know me, I'm a huge fan of quick shots, so anytime you're able to get new quick shots out there, I just love being able to do these quick little shots that just look so great, because some of them are really hard to do if you try to do it manually. So what are my thoughts after 2 weeks of flying with the Mavic Air? So the more I fly the Mavic Air, the more conflicted I am about it. Now, it's an amazing drone, and I really still can't believe it exists, so don't let me being conflicted make you think that it's a bad drone. It's a fantastic drone. But it is missing some very key features that keep it out of being in the Mavic Pro line. We talked about those Wednesday. And that's why I think if you're looking at the Mavic Air, you really got to think about it in terms of an upgrade to the Spark, not an upgrade to the Mavic Pro. Now, if you like the Spark and you like the Mavic Pro and you want a drone that does about everything that each of them does, just like smashed into one, that would be the Mavic Air. The Mavic Air is a really good middle ground between the two, where you still get 4K, you still get some decent battery life, you get all of the sensors, and you get a 3-axis gimbal stabilization. Like, it's great. So after 2 weeks, here are 3 things that I like and 3 things that I don't like about the Mavic Air. The battery life isn't as good as the current Mavic Pro line, and definitely not the Mavic Pro Platinum. It apparently has some problems flying in cold weather. I'll leave a link in the description for a channel called 51 Drones who explains a little more about the problems they were having flying it in cold weather. And I hate the Fly More Combo multi-battery charger. I hate it. It only charges one battery at a time, basically making it only slightly better than just plugging in the darn batteries myself. But it's not all gloom and doom, and here's 3 things that I really like about the drone. Like I said earlier, the gimbal. Seriously, 3-axis gimbal on a drone this small 1 year ago was a pipe dream. I mean, the JME had it, but the gimbal's not as robust as this one. The gimbal on the Air is literally my favorite part of the whole drone. It is what makes it a complete package. The camera being able to do 4K 30 frames per second, 2.7K at 60 frames per second, and 1080p at 120 frames per second, that's amazing out of such a tiny camera drone. That is better than some point and shoots, that is better than some DSLRs, and that's better than some mirrorless cameras currently on the market today. And I don't mean cheap ones, it is better than some expensive mirrorless cameras out there right now. The built-in OTG cable. Now, you could use an OTG cable with the Spark. I only did it once because it was just another layer of hassle trying to get your drone up and get the footage you want. However, this OTG cable works really well and quickly connects phone, controller, and drone. I really like that. Convenience is key and king for me when it comes to my equipment. The revolution of the Mavic Air is that you can get incredible results from a tiny, tiny drone. For example, this is an iPhone 7 Plus. It's the same size as the Mavic Air. That is incredible. It is so easy to just take it with you, get it up in the air, and start capturing amazing footage. And it is the best of the small portable drones currently out. So what, right? So should you get a Mavic Air? If you're looking for a small, bare bones drone that will just give you a 3rd axis of viewing for your home videos or for your home photos, get the Spark. It's still a fantastic drone. However, if you want to be able to capture high quality video, high quality photos, and get one of the most amazing to fly and smartest censored drones currently on the market, get the Mavic Air. Well, hey everybody, thanks for watching the last 2 weeks of Airapalooza. If you do have any more questions about the Air, I'll still make videos about it, but there'll be more on the Drone Flight Friday instead of an every video occurrence. So we're gonna go back to our regularly scheduled content coming up here next week, kinda, because we've got the DJI Osmo Mobile that'll be here next week. I'm so excited for that too. If you're new to the channel, I love drones, action camera, and gimbals, and this has been a great time for all of those. I also want to take the opportunity to thank all of the patrons that make this channel possible and have decided to invest in the channel itself. Thank you to each and every one of you. So special thanks to Jeff Baker, AC Visanu, Nick Alston, Wally Garza, Stan Cook, Rodney, and Steven Shires. Thanks to each and every one of you. And if you'd also like to be able to support the channel and let us bring all this awesome tech to you, I'll leave a link in the description below for our Patreon page. Well, hey, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure out that the Mavic Air is a true technological wonder of our time, you can figure it out. Thanks for watching.